Hi, I can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No. Hi, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. My name is Mary. I am the host or volunteer for Missouri ACAC. So just a couple of things. They said they did a lot of training with you guys, or they went over stuff. So I think I'm just reiterating it. Thanks so much for doing this too. This is great. We're going to broadcast right at the top of the hour. I'll begin with an opening slide with a few housekeeping announcements. Then I'll stop sharing my screen and turn it all over to you. It's being recorded. And there's just a reminder to mute yourself if you're not actively speaking to help with the background noise. StriveScan will send a list of students registered for the session and a transcript of all the questions. So if there's a lot of questions, you can tell them, don't worry, we'll reach out to you guys and take care of that. They're supposed to answer their questions through the Q&A button. Says we recommend you don't click the answer live button. That will share the student's full name and question. Did they go over that with you? Okay. And hit the dismiss button. Do you guys want to make sure you can, are you sharing your screen?
Yes, let me go ahead and test
Okay,
that.
let's try that. Okay.
Is that okay? All right.
Looks good. All right. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. We've got like 5 minutes. And then I will end the webinar when it's out, but after we'll be there we'll do 45 minutes and I'll be here the whole time. And my video won't be on. And then when you guys are done or when the 45 minutes are in, I'll pop back up and then, you guys can wrap it up and then I'll do a few housekeeping things and then I'll just end it. So
Great.
you guys don't have to do anything with that. All right. This is my first time. Bear with me.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So are you guys in person? As far as in school?
Yep, we're in person. So students have the option to be virtual as well, so they could be home if they'd like.
How's that going?
So far, so good. Students definitely seem to be happy to be back on campus.
Yeah, I bet. And what about you? Are you on campus? Are you virtual, you guys?
I decided to go virtual just because it was easier for me to do that, but I still live right next to campus, but I had night classes, so I didn't want to pay for a parking pass and that type of thing. Being virtual just allowed me to have more flexibility, and since it's synchronous learning, going in person was a huge benefit to me because like people who are in person, we still like go into like breakout groups in Zoom or Microsoft, and they have to be with students who are online. So
right.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Just kind of whatever works for you, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot quieter on campus.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Pretty strange.
Yeah, strange times in general, right? Okay. Ooh, I'm supposed to be sharing this with you. Okay. So this is all your stuff about answering student questions, typing it in. The session ends after 45 minutes. So you already shared your screen. You know how to do that. You already know how to mute and unmute. I think we all got the Zoom thing down, right? So my clock does not show up when I'm in this mode. Okay. wonder. Escape. No, okay. Okay, where is, oh, for crying out loud. Okay, I now lost where I'm supposed to start it, so. Okay, start. Does it start automatic?
I'm not sure.
I don't have anything that says start. Now, when I listened to one, it was a few minutes after the time when it started. So I'm going to look at, and I can look at that. Go to my PowerPoint again. Make it little so I see. It says to release presentation sample schedule. Webinars broadcast to students and panelists. You're in practice session. Attendees cannot until you start the webinar. Okay. I am sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. There's supposed to be just a start webinar button. Close caption more. Good, we have a question. I believe it's already started. Okay, thank you, I believe. So Alex, you can hear us? We're talking okay? I can't tell, so I'm sorry. All right, thank you. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all of Missouri students, sponsored by the Missouri Association for College Admission Counselors and Strive Scan. Thank you for joining us. I got a few housekeeping tips before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening. So be sure to check out the full schedule at moacac.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, moacac.org. Now I'd like to turn this over to the presenters.
Great, thank you so much. So hi everyone, my name is Sarah Campbell. I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Admission here at Seton Hall. I'm joined today by one of our current students, Emily. Emily, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name's Emily. I am in a dual degree program for public relations at Seton Hall. I'm a tour guide on campus, and I am from Ohio.
Great, thank you, Emily. Let me go ahead and pull up my presentation for you guys, and we'll go ahead and get started. So a little bit about Seton Hall to get us started. We were founded in 1856 by Reverend James Roosevelt Bailey, and he was the first bishop of Newark, New Jersey. We're one of the oldest diocesan universities in the country. Given our Catholic identity, we really pride ourselves on being a home for the mind, heart, and the spirit. And we find ourselves to be a very diverse and welcoming community that teaches our students respect, understanding, compassion, integrity, and servant leadership. We have close to 6,200 undergraduate students and close to 4,000 graduate students. So we're right in that medium range in terms of size. That gives us all the benefits of a large research university, but you're still going to feel like you're in a small and supportive community environment, which is really nice. We're split pretty evenly with 55% female and 45% male students in our student population. All 50 states are represented, and over 70 different countries are also represented in our student body, and we have a 45% diversity rate. We also pride ourselves on having personalized attention for our students. Our average class size is 21 students, and I've also listed here our average freshman English class size, and that's about 15 students. So even for those intro classes, you can expect to have small class sizes. Our student to faculty ratio is 14:1, and this really allows our students to build close relationships with our faculty. They often become great mentors for our students during their course at Seton Hall. We have very few graduate assistants at Seton Hall. You'll never have a class taught by a graduate assistant. They're really just there to assist with labs and grading and tutoring outside of the classroom. We have some pretty exceptional faculty teaching at Seton Hall. A lot of them are accomplished scholars, authors, artists, and researchers that are very well known in their respective fields. Some of them are even former ambassadors, Fulbright scholars, lawmakers, and business leaders. They've graduated from some of the world's leading institutions, including Harvard, Columbia, Yale, and Princeton, just to name a few. And they consider themselves very serious scholars and practitioners. And it's great that they're able to bring that experience to the classroom and work side by side with our students on research projects, conferences, and various presentations throughout the year. We have over 90 different undergraduate programs across 7 different colleges at Seton Hall. The largest is going to be our College of Arts and Science. We also have our School of Health and Medical Science, School of Diplomacy and International Relations, our Stillman School of Business, our College of Nursing, our College of Education and Human Services, our College of Communication and the Arts, as well as our School of Theology. Next, we'll go through each of these different colleges and go over the programs that they offer. So first up is our College of Arts and Sciences. All of the majors within this college are listed here. So it's your typical humanities and science courses. It's very common for students within this college to double major or have a major and minor combination. So there's certainly a lot to explore here. With our School of Health and Medical Sciences, we do offer direct admission to a few joint degree programs that are all accelerated, so it'll save you both time and money during your studies. We have athletic training, which is a 3+2 dual degree program leading to your Master's of Science in Athletic Training. We have occupational therapy, which is a 3+3 program leading to your Master's of Science in Occupational Therapy. We also have our physical therapy program, which is a 3+3 program leading to your Doctorate of Physical Therapy. We also have physician's assistant 3+3 program leading to your Master's of Science in PA. And then we also have a speech language pathology with joint degree programs with either our psychology major or our College of Education, leading to your Master's in speech language pathology. These are very top rated programs around the country, especially our physician's assistant program and our speech language pathology program. Both of those programs do have 100% employment rate, so you're very prepared once you leave these programs. We also have a partnership with Hackensack Meridian's Medical School located in Nutley, New Jersey. We do offer a joint bachelor's MD program. It's a 4+3 program, so you're still doing 4 years undergrad, but then it's a 3-year accelerated MD program. Students within this program can choose any major during their bachelor's portion of the program. And then your advisor will work with you to make sure you're meeting all of the requirements, both for courses, but also for the GPA requirements. Your senior year, you'll be invited to apply to our medical school. You are guaranteed an interview, and this is really important because only the top 10% of applicants are going to receive an interview to the medical school. So you have a huge advantage by applying directly to this program as an incoming freshman student. This school does partner with Hackensack University Medical Center, which is the largest provider of inpatient and outpatient services in New Jersey. So that's really great for all of your residencies and clinical experiences that you'll have to complete during your time in school. And it is listed as the #1 hospital in New Jersey. So it'll look really good on your resume when you go to apply to jobs after graduating. Next up, I'll talk about our engineering programs. So we do have a partnership with Stevens Institute of Technology, and we do offer some joint BS/MS programs in engineering or artificial intelligence. You'll spend your first 3 years at Seton Hall studying physics, and then you'll move on to Stevens to study whichever path you've chosen. Students have a lot of great opportunities to do research within this program. Some of note are with NASA or the New Jersey Space Grant Consortium, and they'll actually fund our students' research opportunities. So a lot of great hands-on experience there. Students also gain a lot of great real-world experience with internships for this program at top employers that include the U.S. Department of Defense, Ford Motor Company, and Brookhaven National Laboratory, and so much more too. And your professors and our Career Center will work with you to help get those internships secured. Next, I'll talk about our School of Diplomacy and International Relations. This school has an exclusive alliance with the United Nations located in New York City. A lot of our faculty in this school come directly from working with the United Nations. A lot of them are former ambassadors as well, so they bring a lot of their experience directly to the classroom. Within this college, students will have to complete either an internship or study abroad in order to graduate. If they choose to study abroad, we do have semester programs, full year programs, as well as many summer programs to choose from. And we're certainly happy to work with students as well. If we don't provide a program that you're interested in, we'll help you find a program at another institution that'll also suit your academic interest. Students within this college have interned at the United Nations. They've interned at the Red Cross, FBI, and various embassies, both here and abroad. So again, a lot of great experience before you graduate. This school also has a 100% admit rate to grad school for any students interested in pursuing a master's or graduate degree. Next up, I'll talk about our Stillman School of Business. All of the majors within the Stillman School of Business are listed here. So you have your typical economics, finance, and marketing. There's also financial technology and mathematical finance to choose from as well. Within the School of Business, we do have the #1 leadership program in the US for the past 5 years in a row. It's a great pre-professional program for any students interested in really getting some hands-on leadership experience during their undergraduate years. We also have a lot of great experiential learning components within our School of Business. This includes the mock trading room, which you can see pictured here, with various Bloomberg terminals for students to make use of. We also have our Market Research Center on campus. So companies will bring focus groups to campus and students will run those sessions for them. And we also have a sports polling center on campus. So students get great practice in that calling center, serving different spectators on various sport topics. This college also has 95% employment rate 6 months after graduation, and their graduates do have an average starting salary of more than $52,000 per year. This school also has a 100% admit rate to grad school for any students also interested in pursuing their MBA. We do have a couple of dual degree law programs with both our business school as well as our School of Diplomacy, as well as a couple majors in our College of Arts and Sciences, which includes political science, religion, and social work. All of these programs are 3+3, so 3 years undergrad at Seton Hall studying one of these majors, and then 3 years at our Seton Hall Law School. Our Seton Hall Law School is located in Newark, New Jersey, which is New Jersey's largest city. And a lot of our Seton Hall School of Law alumni are found on federal and state benches, top law firms, major corporation, government agencies across the country, and even throughout the world. So a lot of great experience here as well. Next up, we have our College of Communication and Human Services. Students within this college can specialize in elementary, secondary, or special education. Within this college, you can also complete a joint master's degree in speech language pathology and applied behavior analysis. You do have that choice. Any student in our College of Education will also need to choose a content major. We do recommend choosing a major that you intend to teach. So our College of Arts and Sciences majors are a great option for those content majors as well. This school has a 100% employment rate as well as a 100% admit rate to grad school, so students within this college are very prepared. This is due mostly because of our teaching practicum. We do require more hours of teaching than any other school in New Jersey. Students in this college will complete 4 long-term placements totaling up to 75 hours every semester starting their sophomore year, and they'll end with a full year of student teaching in their senior year. Next up, we have our College of Communication and the Arts. All of our majors in this college are listed here. I will say within this college, it's very common for students to pursue multiple interests, and it's very easy to combine majors and minors as well. Within this college, we do also have WSOU, which is the #1 ranked college radio station in the nation, and it was recently inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so we're very excited about that. We also have our Setonian, which is our college newspapers, and it's also highly ranked nationally. We also have our Brownson Speech and Debate Team, which has won over 9,000 awards, and there's even a special scholarship available to students on this team. And we do have the Student Public Relations Society, which is ranked 14th in the nation. I've also included here some of the top internship and employment opportunities that our students have received the past few years. So again, a lot of great experience being so close to New York City for our communication students. Next up, we have our College of Nursing. It is the oldest College of Nursing here in New Jersey. Almost every hospital in New Jersey has a Seton Hall graduate, which I think is a pretty fun fact. We do have an affiliation with over 250 hospitals and healthcare organizations, so there's definitely a lot to choose from for your clinical rotations, and you will get a wide range of experience as well, even if you do have a specialization in mind. Students within our College of Nursing will complete 8 clinical rotations, and they'll start their nursing courses as early as their freshman year. In the middle of your sophomore year, you'll transition to our interprofessional health sciences campus located in Nutley, which is about a 20-minute drive from our main campus in South Orange. On this health sciences campus, you'll have access to state-of-the-art patient simulation labs. All of our other School of Health and Medical Sciences, as well as our medical school students, are located on that campus. So you'll be interacting with them on these simulation labs and getting that real-world interprofessional experience, which is great. And lastly, we have our Immaculate Conception Seminary, School of Theology. Students can pursue a Bachelor's of Arts in Catholic Theology with 2 different tracks. The first being our philosophical theology for students interested in the priesthood. We do have a second track for students that can focus on sacred scripture, moral theology, spiritual theology, or systematic theology. So I hope you could see with all of our different programs and colleges that we do offer a lot of great hands-on learning experiences for our students during their time at Seton Hall. You can do research with faculty and present that research at national conferences. You can study abroad. You can take advantage of great community service projects. Even your freshman year, you'll be asked to complete community service hours as one of your courses. So a really great opportunity to get involved in our local community. A lot of great clinical learning labs on campus, including our behavioral and psychology labs, our market research center, and we do have a semester in Washington, D.C. as well. And of course, we're only a 35-minute train ride from New York City, which is great for field trips and guest lecturers. Next up, I'll talk about internships and our great career services offered at Seton Hall. We have over 17,000 internship opportunities currently in our database. That is a lot to choose from, so we have a great 12-member career center with different career advisors, each specialized in a particular field. So they'll help you narrow down that database of internships to find the ones that most suit your interest, but also your experience as well. Over 80% of our students have at least one or more internships before they graduate. And we are ranked top 4 in the US for internship opportunities. So we really do pride ourselves on having those opportunities for our students. We have a 93% employment overall for our undergraduate students. And our Seton Hall graduates earn a mid-career earnings of 50% or higher than the national average. So they are very successful in their respective fields. And every year we do have an on-campus career fair with over 550 employers visiting our campus to recruit directly from our student body. They do know how qualified our graduates are, and they come back every year to continue working with them. I'm going to turn it over to Emily now to talk a little bit about the student experience at Seton Hall.
Hi everyone, so again, my name is Emily and I'm going to be talking about student life here for the next few slides. So first I'm going to talk about our freshman studies program. So it's our award-winning program to help you make a successful transition from high school to college life. So as soon as you get on campus or even before you start your classes, during the summer you'll go to Pirate Adventure, which is it's about 2 days on campus, and you get to stay overnight on the campus, and that is where you'll be put into your PA group. And a PA group is similar to learning communities, as they're called other universities and colleges. And within your PA group you'll be placed with students who are in your specific major or within your college, and there'll be anywhere ranging from like 12 to 20 students. And you'll also be put with a PA advisor. So that is a student who is trained and has gone through the experience, and we like to call them your first friend on campus, because that's going to be the person who's going to tell you all the ins and outs during your summer orientation on campus. And then you'll also be put with a freshman studies advisor, and that's the person who is going to help you sign up for all of your classes for your first year at Seton Hall. And also within freshman studies program, you do have to attend a 1-hour class your first semester at Seton Hall, and that class is called University Life. And so that's going to be with your PA group or learning community, and it's going to be co-taught by the PA advisor and your freshman studies advisor. And that's going to be a how-to for college, so where you can find all the resources you need on campus. And then also within our University Life class, that is where you're going to have to complete 10 hours of community service, and that may be a little or a lot depending on what you're used to in your community or your high school. However, we do make it really accessible and easy for students to obtain those community service hours through our division of volunteer efforts. So they offer weekly programs that are in the area volunteer programs. We also offer regional, national, and abroad service trips. And we also offer service on Saturdays, which happen 3 times during the semester. And that's where you're able to get on a bus and go help out at a local soup kitchen, food pantry, or some of students even help clean up state parks like Liberty State Park. So that's an overview of our freshman studies program, and it really just helps you feel comfortable transitioning into college life. So campus life, we have over 150 student clubs and organizations, 26 Greek organizations, so that ranges from your typical social sororities and fraternities, academic fraternities, as well as multicultural and service. So you have a lot to choose from. I myself am not in Greek life, but I have a lot of friends who are. We also have almost a dozen student-led theater performances a year at the South Orange Performing Arts Center, and we also have them on Theater in the Round, which is a theater on campus. I've been to a few of them before, and they're always a lot of fun to go to. We also have a lot of entertainment options through our Student Activities Board. Especially being so close to New York City, they're really great at providing discounted tickets to Broadway shows, professional sports events. And then on campus, we have carnivals and comedians and guest speakers. We've anywhere from Stephen A. Smith and the NBA commissioner, from T.T. Palmer to Josh Peck, from Lori Hernandez. Those have been people who have been on campus, and that's just been for my past 4 years here at Seton Hall. So there's always something to do here on campus. So Pirate Pride, we are very well known for our basketball team. We have 14 Division I athletic teams. We are part of the Big East Conference. We have over 25 club and intramural sports. Club sports are typical to high school sports or club sports you played when you were younger. You have a uniform, you do travel, and you do have to pay. And then intramural sports are very laid back, super fun, and I feel like they're a great way to get involved your freshman year on campus. And as you can see, over 50% of our students participate in club or intramural sports. So residence life, 80% of freshmen and 50% of total undergraduate students live in university housing. We have 6 residence halls and 2 apartment buildings. The 2 apartment buildings are located off campus. One is right outside the front gate, and one is closer to the train station. And the train station is just a 10-minute walk from the main campus. So we have double, triples, or 4-person suites, and we have RAs and priests that live in every hall. So I lived on campus my first 2 years, and I really liked my experience. I lived in suite style rooms, so that means that you open the door, there's a bathroom with a double sink to your left, a room to the right with 2 people in it, and a room in front of you with 2 people in it. For freshmen, there's also Boland Hall, which has Jack and Jill bathrooms, where the bathroom is in between the 2 rooms, or communal style bathrooms. But all my friends who've had communal style bathrooms when they lived in Boland their freshman year, they didn't mind it because the staff, the cleaning services will come and clean it twice a day. So you don't have to worry about cleaning your own bathroom. And then for my last 2 years here at Seton Hall, I've lived off campus in apartments, or doubles actually. And as long as knowing upperclassmen really helps with finding apartments off campus. And I would say most students move off campus. And when I mean off campus, I mean like a 5 to 10-minute walk from the main campus, typically their junior and senior year. So services offered at Seton Hall for your safety or wellness. So we have counseling and psychological services. We nickname that CAPS. And they are confidential, and they have one-on-one sessions with a certified psychologist, or they have group sessions ranging from like group sessions to stress and anxiety. We have disability and support services. We have our academic resource center, which is our tutoring service. I call it our tutoring service for students, by students, so you'll get taught by a student. And that's really helpful for especially your freshman year, if you're in any medical or science related major, and or if you don't have time to go to your professor at all. Health and wellness through our gym, and we also have our tutors in residence, and those are student tutors who live in the residence halls, and that's if like you can't make it to an office hour or the academic resource center. Typically they have their the tutors in residence will have their office hours later in the night. So we have a lot of different options for you on campus.
Great, thank you, Emily. So next I'm going to transition over to affordability and scholarships. So Seton Hall gives over $100 million in grants and scholarships every year. I have included our tuition and fees here below, as well as the cost of room and board. Together, they total to just over $60,000. Don't let that number scare you. 90% of Seton Hall students will receive some form of aid, so whether that's federal aid, state aid, or Seton Hall aid. It's very rare that a student will have to pay that full sticker price. And 98% of students will receive a grant or scholarship directly from Seton Hall. So we do really try to make it as affordable as possible for our students to attend. The majority of our merit scholarships are automatically awarded upon admission. So what that means is if you're accepted to Seton Hall, you're automatically considered for a merit scholarship. On top of this merit scholarship, we do offer a few special scholarships. These do require an additional application, usually just a few short answer questions, and all of the application materials are listed on our website. And these do have a deadline of January 15th. So be sure any seniors to apply by that deadline if you're interested in those additional special scholarships. A few application deadlines to keep in mind. So our first two deadlines are going to be early action deadlines. With early action, that's different than early decision. So early action is not binding. You're still welcome to apply to other schools. And of course, once you hear back from all of your schools, make your decision from the choices that you have. Our first two deadlines are November 15th and December 15th. I certainly recommend getting in your application by one of these two deadlines, just because priority is given to our early action students. If you need a little bit more time to work on your application, that's totally okay. We do have two regular decision deadlines of February 1st and March 1st for you to take advantage of. When you go to submit your application, we are on the Common App, and we also have our own Seton Hall app. It doesn't matter to us which one you submit, whichever one you're most comfortable with. And we do require an essay as part of that application. So the Common App essay will work, or our Seton Hall essay. It doesn't matter to us. There is a $55 application fee. We do require your high school transcript and council report. One teacher recommendation is required. Certainly, if you'd like to submit a coach recommendation or an outside community member's recommendation letter, you're welcome to do that as well. And then we do require the SAT or ACT. However, this year we are test optional. So for fall 2020 students and applying for that semester, you're welcome to apply test optional. Just be sure on your application, again, whether it's the Common App or our Seton Hall app, be sure to indicate on there that you're applying test optional so that we know not to wait for your SAT or ACT scores. The only exception to this rule is going to be our joint bachelor's MD program, because it's such a competitive program for us that is going to require the SAT and ACT this year. All of our other programs, you're welcome to apply test optional. To give you an idea of what we look for in an applicant, we do use a holistic review. So we're looking at all of these different pieces of your application, from your essay to your teacher recommendation letter, and certainly your high school transcript and GPA. To give you an idea of what our incoming freshman students look like, their average GPA is usually around a 3.6 unweighted. Their average SAT is around a 1235, and an average ACT of a 27, just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect. So that's all we have for you guys today. We'll turn it over to see if we have any questions. One question I have for you, Emily. What's it like being an out-of-state student at Seton Hall? What was the transition like? Any advice for traveling to and from campus?
Yes, so and so I transitioned from Midwest to East Coast life, and I really liked it, especially at first. Everything was very exciting. A big reason of why I came to Seton Hall is because of how close it was to the city, and especially coming from a smaller community in the Midwest, I definitely took advantage of how close it was. I go into the city, used to, all the time, and I do have family there as well. And I would say traveling or being an out-of-state student, it's going to take a little bit of a transition. I would say give it about a month or two, or not, I would say about a month, and that's typically where you start to find like a group of friends. Just don't freak out like the first week of school is my advice. If you don't have someone to sit with at lunch or in the cafeteria every single meal, but you do find a lot of your friends from your dorm hall and also from clubs you get involved in on campus. So at the first week of the fall semester, we always have an involvement fair on our green, which is the center of our campus. And I highly recommend going to that. Even if you sign up for like 5 or 10 and just narrow it down to 2 or 3, it's a great way to just like dip your toes in. And I would say around like your sophomore year, you really kind of start to find your cliques and groups that you like to be a part of within your within different organizations. Oh, and as far as, traveling to and from, I was able to find pretty cheap flights from Newark. Newark is a United hub, so I was able to find really cheap flights from there to Columbus or Dayton, which is where areas I live close to in Ohio. And as far as getting to the airports, either friends or Uber, it's only a 15-minute drive. I didn't have my car here on campus the first 3 years, and I was totally able to get around, whether it's school provided transportation, or yeah. So definitely was a great choice for me to come here.
Great, thank you, Emily. I do see a question here about our science majors. So there is a lot to choose from for our students interested in the sciences. Of course, we have our typical biology, chemistry, biochemistry, and physics to choose from. And then, of course, we have some dual degree programs for either engineering with Stevens for engineering and artificial intelligence, but also for our health sciences students. So those are going to be physician's assistant, athletic training, occupational therapy, joint bachelor's, MD program, and speech language pathology. So definitely a lot to choose from there. I see a question here about internships, particularly with organizations such as the Yankees or the Mets. And do you need to wait, or is there an application process? So our Career Services Center will work with you to make sure that you're getting internships that you're interested in, as well as qualified for. So though, you know, if you're interested in working with the Yankees or the Mets, students in the past have worked with those companies and with those teams. So certainly the precedent is already set for more Seton Hall students to work there. And our Career Services Center will work with you to make sure your resume is up to date, you know, do any mock interviews that are necessary as well. Emily, do you want to talk about some of your own internship opportunities?
Yes, I can. So first, to give back to the Seton Hall community, and there's a lot of mentoring programs. And if you're interested in interning for professional sports, I would highly recommend looking into the sports management program, or also our College of Communication and Arts, and we have a sports media minor, and we had a professional in residence who used to work at Sports Illustrated who helped us develop that program. And also, if you're into the broadcasting or media side of sports, I would highly recommend getting involved in the radio station. It is 89.5 FM, so it is known for being heavy metal and heavy rock, but they also have a sports department, and they get to announce all of the Division I varsity sports, and they get to travel with the basketball team. And they get to do that on Seton Hall's dime. So if you love traveling and if you love broadcasting, I definitely recommend that. My boyfriend was actually the sports director, and he got to go to the Bahamas for the men's basketball tournament for Thanksgiving. So there's tons of opportunities, and the Career Center also offers sports marketing and media event sessions where they're kind of like network speed dating events. So long story short, there's tons of opportunities for you to be able to intern at those organizations in sports. So for my internship experience, I have been able to get one from the Career Center. I worked at the Children's Place, the children's clothing store at their headquarters. So I worked there last summer, and now I work at a nonprofit I interned for a nonprofit for the UN. I found that on LinkedIn, and so that just goes to show that I didn't have to be in the diplomacy and international relations school to get an internship at the UN. And so I really like my major, public relations, because I can really craft it into what I want to and what I'm passionate about.
Great, thank you, Emily. Another question for you. What are the dining options both on campus and off campus?
So for dining options, we do have one cafeteria on campus. It's plenty big enough for students to go to, and it was renovated 2 years ago. So it's brand new, and I would say I didn't mind the dining option or going to the cafeteria when I lived here on campus, because there's a lot of make your own options, such as stir fry, pasta station, salad, omelet, waffles, you name it. We have a lot of different options. something that's popular these past 2 years is the sushi station on campus, and we also have ready-to-go meals for you as well. All of our dining plans are unlimited, and the only thing that changes is the amount of pirate bucks you have, as we call them. And pirate butts can be used for any dining option on campus that's not the cafeteria. So we have Jersey Mike's, we have a pizzeria, we have Pliables, which is, I had no idea what that was, so you guys probably don't either, but it's an acai and smoothie bowl place. So we have our own version of that on campus. We have Pirates Cove, which is it used to be like a restaurant / bar on campus, so it serves options like pizza, wraps, soup, sandwiches, anything you can imagine. Also, it's just where a lot of students go to meet with friends, hang out. We also have open mic night or karaoke nights there. Then we also have Dunkin' Donuts, which is conveniently placed right next to the library. And we also have 2 cafes that serve Starbucks coffee. And then for dining options off campus, there are a lot of great food options. Anything you can think of, pizza, Chinese, Mexican food, Ethiopian food, anything you can imagine. So it is a great way to get off campus, walk there with your friends. And so I've definitely found a lot of great unique options that are only like a 5-10 minute walk from campus.
Great, thank you. Another question for you. We have the campus in our backgrounds. What's your favorite spot on campus, either to hang out with friends or to study?
I would say the green. I feel like that's a lot of everybody's favorite option. So the green is actually right behind Sarah. So yeah. I really like it because when it's the first nice day of the spring semester, everyone's out there, and it's just really, I don't know, you can have like a little picnic, lay out a blanket, play spike ball, do homework that never really gets done if you're on the green, but it's just a great way, or a great spot on campus. And then I also spent a lot of hours in the library, and it may take a year, but you always have that one spot you like to go to in the library.
Great, awesome. Do you have any piece of advice for high school students right now, picking their colleges that they're going to apply to and then ultimately deciding which college to pick?
It is a tough decision. I won't sugarcoat it at all because I know there's endless options. But I would say at the schools you're looking at, really, really get to know them, to attend virtual info sessions like these, reach out to students or advisors. And a big way of, honestly, of how I narrowed down my schools is how the college responded to me and how interactive they were with me when any questions I asked, even if they seemed very minute or silly. And so Seton Hall was really great about answering me right away, connecting me with different students. And I also felt like they viewed me the most holistically because I did not have the best ACT score. So definitely take advantage of those ACT prep courses. They will come in handy with scholarship money. But even without my super stellar ACT score, I had a 4.0 in high school, and I was heavily involved with community service and extracurriculars. So that's something I think Seton Hall was really great in understanding at when viewing my application.
Great, thank you so much, Emily. So those are all the questions that I see that have come through for us. Certainly, students, if you have any other future questions, you're welcome to reach out to us via email or phone, and we're happy to help, like Emily said, with any question, big or small, throughout the application and enrollment process. So do feel free to reach out to us. We're always available to help. It was nice to meet with all of you today, and hopefully we hear from you guys in the future. Take care.
All right.
Sorry. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. When you close this window, there's going to be a link that's going to ask some 4 questions. So we'd appreciate it if you could give us any feedback. Also, this is one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at moacac.org. And in about a week, you can find the sessions recording as well as other sessions on moacac.org. Thank you, Sarah and Emily, so much for everything. I appreciate you guys being here for us.